microphone, thank you.
I think it's good.
I didn't hear a.
I didn't hear it either.
It's all the ring Omega. Gremlins.
Sorry about this, guys.
That's okay. It's all good.
Look at my let's test. Hello, everybody, speak something.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
Testing. Houston. Yes. The computer's good until it's not.
Yes.
Put my readers not there, guys.
I did not hear it. Test.
Test. Hello.
Dark hair.
Yes.
Okay, that one's good. Okay, test.
Test.
Okay, test. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Thank you.
Recording in progress.
Good evening. This is the Parks and Rec meeting, February 23rd, 2026. It is 6:12 p.m. at the City Hall Council Chambers. Omega, would you please call roll?
Yes. I have Buckles,
Here.
Hebert,
Here.
Myers,
Here.
Lee,
Here.
Snyder. Here.
Okay. There is an addition I'd like to add to the agenda, Omega, and that is Rotary is requested to put a peace pole in Southside Park. And they would build it, install it, and maintain it. But anyway, that be added and discussed. Yes.
Can we add it to where it says comments for I believe it's the last item.
Counselors, yes, under H, we
Yeah.
could add that under there, sure.
Okay.
And then we might want to transfer it to the next agenda if it flows over. Okay. Is there any additions or deletions that you know of, Omega?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Okay, want to introduce the new committee member, Dianna Snyder. And you go by Dianne, right?
It's Dianna, but I go by
Dianna.
I go by Di.
Di,
I know
okay.
her by Di.
Okay, I'm gonna call you Dianne. Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, item D, approval of the minutes, Park and Rec meeting minutes for January 22nd, 2026. Is there any comments, any corrections? Okay, if there's no corrections, we'll vote to accept them. Is that correct?
Do you vote the chair to accept the minutes as presented?
Yes, as presented, yes. And we vote, right?
So you'll say.
Oh, okay. We're going to vote to accept the minutes for January 22nd.
I second it.
and then we vote, see, I'm out of practice. Thank you,
You're
Omega.
amazing.
Ladies. Okay, E, public comment on non-agenda items. The public comment portion of the agenda is an opportunity for Parks and Rec Committee to listen to the public, but not for dialogue. The commentators are allowed up to 3 minutes to present information relevant to this forum, not otherwise listed as an agenda item. We have a comment from Joe Neely. Did you want to talk, Joe?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good evening, Sheridan Parks and Recreation Committee. I'm Joe Neely, as everyone knows, that's just mostly for the public. I'm curious, because I went down to Sheridan Park not too long ago, the city park, and the old horseshoe pit does have signage indicating that it's a dog park, but there's no gate on it. So I was curious if I can take my dog there, because I know my dog's extremely well behaved. It gives him something to run around in. I was just curious if I can do that, so.
I believe our intent was to allow people, yes, to take their dogs in there. And at one point, we had the little doggy waste basket or bags there, but it was moved out further so people could see them.
We have a gate ordered for that, I'm just waiting for it to come in and that'll be put on there. The signs have already been put on there and,
Oh, thank you.
and
Thank
there'll
you.
be a garbage can and a waste basket there, or a
Oh,
baggie basket
good.
there.
Nice.
Thank you.
Done.
So it sounds like, yes, you can.
As long as it's well behaved and yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
It's
Well,
just
thank
kind of
you
a
for
small
asking
bucket.
about that.
Yeah, thank you.
And it's still, again, the long-term goal is to
Jefferson.
make it a bigger dog park area. So, thank you. Very good. Okay. Is there anybody else, Omega, that you can see that has any questions? Okay, all right. Then we'll go on to, again, I wanted to, in talking to Preston, the presentation for landscaping is gonna be done after we talk about the updates to the park and master plan. So we'll go to G. Okay. We left off with chapters 5 and 6. Okay. All right. Chapter 5, proposed park improvements, and it is page 5-1. Are there any corrections? I saw one.
Of course you do.
No, it's down at the bottom where it's 2, and it says, again, south side is 2 words, and it should be 1 word.
Yeah, it's one, side is like literally south side.
1 word.
I quoted that too.
Okay. All right. If there's no other comments, we'll head on to 5-2. Is there any corrections or questions on 5-2? Okay, I got one, and it's, okay, on number 5, at the top, and again, down where it says Chester Moore Park, Hebron Memorial Pavilion, and then it says Morgan Park, but it should be Morgan Street.
Park, yes.
Morgan Street.
I saw that too.
Okay. So,
Everything should say Morgan Street Park every time. And
okay.
south side with 1 word.
Anybody else? Any corrections? If not, we're gonna go on to 5-3. And, okay, south side, the title up there, it says South City, so a correction. I still like it, parentheses, fishing pond, that's always nice. And then on sentence 2, again, it has that south side, 2-word issue.
I agree, it needs to be south side, like one word.
And then this is just a question, I have 2 questions. On 3, it's just a question on, since the pond aeration system is installed, should we say installed instead of installed? That's a question.
Well, last I knew, which is, 2 months old, I forget who, somebody commented that, or maybe I saw something in a report that an aeration system is going to be installed.
It is
Yes.
installed.
Okay, we'll change that to
That's just a question again.
indicate that it's already there.
Yes, thank you, Sandy.
And then another question, Sandy, you could answer this, I assume. In the original plan for Southside Park was the disc golf. Is that still going to be part of the,
They're meeting with some other professional disc players at the moment, so that we can get it laid out, because none of us know.
but it is
Rules and
part of the
regulations.
plan, right?
Yes,
Okay, so
it's still being worked on.
it kind of needs to be addressed in there, Jim. Disc,
Okay, well, add disc golf. to
that is the right
activities.
name, right?
Yes.
Disc
Yes.
golf,
Yes,
I would just call it frisbee thing.
Disc golf.
and they know what
Is
you,
it DISC?
Frisbee thing.
Or
DISC,
DISC?
DISC,
for sure.
DISC,
I think so.
okay,
Yep.
Disc, D-I-S-C,
golf.
Now, that's what I thought, but I just thought I would also make sure that what
Yeah.
I'm thinking is what it really is.
I don't know, okay.
it was a big dream at one point, so.
Anything else noted then on 5.3?
Oh, so the thing with the bridge, question, Sandy.
Sure.
So the bridge could go over to the overlook, possibly to the,
It is supposed to be placed by the pavilion that's already there, over the little creek towards the cemetery and the lagoon side.
so where's the viewpoint for wildlife? I mean, I'm just saying bridge makes sense to go from the pond to the overlook to the wildlife area. Is that the same thing?
I don't think so.
Okay, well, that's something to be looked at. Yes.
The bridge has always been the bridge was going to always be put where they're putting it though.
That's what I remember
And
too,
The
yeah.
engineers have already went through all of that,
Okay.
and we went out to bid at one point, but it was too much money. So they've been working on finding a contractor that can do it for the price that it was, engineers said it would be.
Okay, so my question, I guess, is the idea of the natural wildlife viewpoint. Where's that?
I'm not sure that there's
We don't
anything
have a-
selected for that
Okay,
yet.
I would like to be involved in that, and I would like to volunteer to help with that.
Alright, okay. If there's no other comments on 5.3, we'll go on to,
Just one thing.
Yes.
River Park,
Mhm.
riverfront park blocks,
yes,
that probably should just be blocked, because it's only one block.
Yeah. After going through
Oh,
a lot
thank
of
you.
this last month, it's like, yeah.
But we went back and forth, is it parks block or
Yeah,
parks block?
That and Morgan Street Park, not Morgan Park. Is
Oh,
all over the
I see
place.
what you're saying, Ernie, it finally dawned on me, block, cause it's only one block, it's not several
We
blocks
Right.
talked
of,
about parks
yes,
block,
blocks,
because there's more than
block,
one
block,
park,
And
one
River,
one
and
park.
Morgan Street
Yeah.
Park
okay.
is still, out there.
Anything else on 5.3? Kate's gonna keep whipping us on through, you guys.
Let me know.
Okay, 5.4, is there any corrections? And there's the block that you
Yeah, we'll-
mentioned.
delete the S.
Yes,
Again, this is just a question because this was brought up about, under the Hebert Memorial Pavilion is add, and it's under 1D, add security fencing below the deck. Is it going to be fencing or riprap?
No, it's gonna be, we talked about that, it would be where the pathway's going in now, you can kind of see it's behind the wall of the
Yes.
106 building. So that section will be where the pathway is, as closest to that wall as possible. And then that's in the, that's right at the edge of the floodway versus the floodplain. So that wall, the existing wall, is just right about that line. So it kind of goes under the pavilion, it's like 20 feet. So where the wall is, if you went another, well, 20 feet from that wall, basically, it starts going uphill a little bit. And so that's where it'd be like a chain link fence, like a black, link fence. And it would be probably 8 or 10 feet tall.
Okay.
And that would run from the edge of the hill to the walkway and then all the way across and would be in front of the bridge as well as the pavilion. And then it would go up along the sidewalk on the other end.
Okay.
But there needs to be rock put in there to keep it from eroding, so
Okay. Thank you.
that's a smaller rock than the big
Okay.
riprap.
Okay. So,
And that would come down to where the sidewalk is.
okay.
So they put a drain in there so any water that would get past the walkway or coming off the deck would go in
Yes.
that drain under the walkway down to the river. So we'll need some kind of rock, but it could be 3-inch open or 6-inch.
Okay. Well, thank you, Ernie, for that clarification. Is there any other questions or clarifications on 5.4?
Yeah, there's one here.
Okay.
That,
Sure.
it had to do with, 3D as in David.
Uh-huh.
Instead of saying acquire building at 106 Bridge Street, if we could make that more,
Yeah,
not making it like. we're
acquire
gonna
the
do-
site.
It is kind of, evaluate, what we might wanna do there. So that's still kind of in the feasibility stage, how would that be done if we did it? So I think Preston's kind of like, we don't wanna make it come across in this document like we've already made a decision to do that.
Yeah,
But it is something that we, could look at, the feasibility of acquiring that and then basically demolishing it and making that part of the park that connected to
No.
the bridge, yeah.
if 3D said evaluate the site at 106 South Bridge Street, in terms of possible acquisition? Okay,
We just didn't want to make it sound like it's a for sure deal before we even talk to the owners about it. But I think it's kind of good to have a placeholder in there just to, to at least look into it.
Anything else, Ernie, on that?
Not on that page.
Okay. All right. Then we're going to go on to 5.5. Any corrections or questions on 5.5?
You'll see under deck amenities there, a lot of that was what we came up with in our
Yes.
subcommittee meetings over the last year and a half.
I have under 1C, boat is misspelled. It's yeah, but boat landing. The T, it should be a T. And then I don't know if this needs to be corrected, but for park amenities, number C where it says picnic tables for upper park area, I don't know if we need to say, we've already purchased those are acquired already, they're just waiting for installation. Do we need to note that, or we're good to go?
well, I would think, if you mention it in this plan,
Uh-huh.
then it's clear that that's what the city's intention is.
Okay,
And if somebody gets bent out of shape because there's some park benches there, and they look at the plan,
uh-huh,
and it doesn't say anything about this new
the picnic
activity area
tables.
or
Somebody
Yeah.
that-
facility, then, they can say, oh, why are you doing that? It's not even called for in the plan.
Yeah,
Somebody-
and actually, we intended those to be on concrete
Yes,
slab,
paths.
yes,
and that's not in the current work that we're doing, so
okay,
it's probably good to have that in there, because
Mhm.
that'll come a little later, so it can't even though we have them, they can't be installed till the concrete.
so what are you saying,
But
you
this-
clarify
this-
that?
Well, I think you just leave it like that.
Oh, just leave it
Even though
picnic
we-
tables
we
for
know we
upper
already
park
have them.
area,
They're just
okay,
in safekeeping.
okay. Whatever, again, I'm just asking, cause I'm not sure on how much we, again, monitor.
Thank you, Kay.
Okay. There's no other on 5.5, we'll go 5.6. Any corrections or questions on 5.6? Okay. 5.7, oh,
Actually,
go ahead.
just at the top of 5.6 where it says Orchard Street Park.
Oh,
Yeah.
it should be site?
Site, yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
good
yeah.
catch,
Oh,
thank you.
thank you.
Yeah, see, many
Wow.
eyes.
Yeah, lots of eyes.
Very good. I did have a question because I got confused, Jim. Maybe on 2 where it says down there under West Main Park, Street Park. Number 2, prepare a master plan showing items 3 through 6. I'm confused on what items 3 through 6 are. Is that,
Well, that's the rest of what's listed under number 3, 4, 5, and 6.
okay, all right, thank you.
Maybe I should say items 3 through 6 below
Yes,
and other,
thank you. For people like me that got,
well, no, it's good to bring up because it's so easy to write these things when you know what you're thinking about and then you have 100 other people read it and
Thank you.
it's like, gee whiz, what was that person thinking of when they wrote that?
okay, if there's nothing else on 5.6, we'll go to 5.7. Are there any corrections, questions that you have? Anybody? Okay, on West Main Riverside sites.
Maybe,
Oh, go ahead.
well, because it has the west and east properties. The west property says, vehicle parking lot at each property. And I don't know, we didn't quite talk about that.
Yeah,
That's a long, narrow strip of land. I don't
Yeah.
even know if there's room for a parking
I
lot.
agree with that. I was thinking that same thing.
But the east there is, because there's already kind of a parking lot there where the sign is, welcome to
Mhm.
Sheridan.
I don't know, cause I get confused on how far west down, cause didn't you say, what's that street road that's across from,
It's,
what's it called?
Pittman or,
Pittman, yes.
Yeah.
And it seems like,
that's where Mill Creek comes into the South Young Hill.
it looks like you could pull in along there,
But not a paved,
But that's too far.
but it's
That's-
not
that's-
paved.
that's
Oh, is that too
That's
far?
I don't see
You have
the
to go
idea
back.
of the paved idea.
Well, I didn't think we were paving it.
Yeah, so,
But that's why I'm confused too.
Oh, okay.
so that long strip of land,
Mhm.
you know, the east part where we walked on that,
Yes.
walked under the river.
Right.
Well, next to that is a privately owned field,
Mhm.
farm,
Yes,
and then after that is that long narrow strip which the city owns,
okay.
but it ends before Pittman Road.
Before Pittman,
Yeah,
okay,
so Pittman Road, there's a house there and they've kind of cleared their property so they can see the river.
okay.
And that's, if you look right across the river, that's where Mill Creek comes in. And so you just go downstream a little bit, and then that's where that
That's where,
property starts. And then,
okay, okay.
Yeah, and maybe they put up the
there it
Park.
is.
map and so she's pointing with the arrow at that west
See it right above your head there?
property.
Mm-hmm,
I don't see the arrow. Which one?
It's right,
yeah,
it's hard to see, it's moving
Oh,
around.
there, okay.
Now you see where,
Right
you
there.
see where Mill Creek comes in, down below,
Oh, yeah, okay.
okay,
Yes.
right above your head there.
Mm-hmm.
So you see if you follow that to where that long strip that the city owns, it's a ways
Quite
down
a
the
ways,
river.
yeah.
Time to walk that, you mean?
Mhm.
So we're saying
I
we
mean, you
could,
could have a path along there, if
Yeah.
people were pulling along the road,
Right.
or bank fishing or something.
but the long term isn't to have it paved per se.
No.
I think it's a path, yeah, we
But,
talked about
but
that.
the parking lot on the east end, you could do that
You could,
and have a path down, because that's where the city sign is.
Okay.
over the Sheridan.
so we wanna clarify it's
Probably
the east one only
Yeah.
would be
And you could have a
possibly.
pedestrian path,
Yes, the path, we want on each of
otherwise,
those.
otherwise it'd be pretty much a nature
Yeah.
area, it's just kind of there to
Look at
maintain the
that.
watershed.
Okay,
So we want number 1 to focus on a parking and path on the east property,
yes,
okay?
In the west property, maybe pedestrian bicycle trail, whatever, you could have something like that along there.
and once we're done with that, Jim, I wanna go back to that paragraph above 1 and 1 there. Okay, and read, the two sites have river frontage. The city accepted the west side as a donation with no conditions as future use. The city accepted ownership of the property with the intent of protecting South Yamhill River watershed. And then the city purchased the east property with the intent of protecting the watershed. It seems redundant. It seems, is there a way to say both locations, was acquired for protecting the watershed?
Well, I split it into two because the two properties are different, and there's a property in between them that's, I don't know what, 100 yards, 200 yards wide.
Yeah, it's that
And
big
they were
stretch.
each acquired differently.
Mhm.
One was donated, and then the same owner agreed with the city that the city would buy the other property.
Mhm.
So I just tried to separate it out and say, for the west, is that the city accepted ownership of the property with the intent of, I guess, the west site was a donation, and the city accepted that as a donation. Then, as part of working with the owner, the city purchased the east property, again, with the intent of protecting the South Yamhill River watershed.
So the owner, there was one owner and that owner donated one and then sold the other. That's where I didn't realize that, cause I didn't pick up on the ownership of both properties was a single entity.
Yeah, and the owner actually owns the one in between,
Okay,
Oh,
so.
Yeah, she also owns a bunch of land on the other hillside up there too.
Mhm.
She owns
that
quite a bit
one
of land.
in between, is there any talk of the city acquiring that?
Not recently. I'm kind of forgetting how, before I got here, the city did the deal where I guess the owner, as I understand it, wanted to donate some of the property to the city. And the city said, great, we'll take it on as, watershed protection. And then part of that was, well, if I'm gonna donate some, then the city should buy something so that I get some cash to do whatever she wanted to do. And so that's how it came to be kind of an odd deal where it was a donation as well as a purchase. And then she still owns the piece in between
Mhm.
and some land on the north side of Main Street.
is It just, reads,
No, I'll rework it.
yeah, because if you could emphasize it's one owner and the owner donated the east or west side, and
West
then
side.
the other portion
The east side
was
purchase.
purchased. And both are with the thought of protecting the south side river watershed.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Wow,
That sounds good, I'm getting it in that order, so.
wow.
And
That's too bad we didn't get them.
yeah, and again, our goal there for the development of those sites is just allowing people ultimately to access the river, but keep it in a more natural state.
Mhm.
So, any other comments on that section?
I just, as
Sure.
a side comment, knowing how things are connected, and so unless you really know they're connected,
Yes.
then you don't know they're connected. Those two properties are outside the city limits, but eventually, and the urban growth boundary,
Uh-huh.
but presumably in the future, the city could expand the urban growth boundary to bring those into the urban growth boundary with the idea of protecting them in a zone. And then once they're in this, to put a city zone on it, you have to have it in the city limits. And so, once it's in the city limits, that protection for watershed purposes
Uh-huh.
will give the city some points in the floodplain program, where we're in what's called the community rating system.
Mm-hmm.
And the city goes above and beyond what the minimum requirements are for development in the floodplain. And the program that keeps track of how far above and beyond is called this community rating system. And one of the things they do is, and it's part of the National Flood Insurance Program, the idea being, if we can have natural, land
Mm-hmm.
where rivers and floodplain are, then we won't have buildings and development in the floodplain being flooded and causing damage and even loss of life. So just as a kind of a secondary thing, the city would get points for having the east property and the west property in some kind of a permanently protected status.
Okay.
And if it turns out that that permanently protected status would not allow parking or a pedestrian path or a bike path or any development at all, then we just wouldn't worry about applying and telling the community rating system people that we own property and we want points.
Okay.
We'd say, we're happy enough, we own the property, yeah, we could get points, but we're not gonna go after the points because that would mean people would have virtually no
No
easy access to the river
Okay.
and to the riparian vegetation along the river.
So along those lines too, ODFW, Department of Fish and Game, they don't stock a lot of this section of the river anymore, haven't for years. But, because there's not that much access to it for anglers, bankfish and stuff.
Yeah,
So,
well, and that's one of
and
the
that's
things.
recreation too, so.
But I forget the group's name, but, what is it, the state, the county, McMinnville, Lafayette, bunch of cities, Dayton, that are, and this is a Willamette River Basin program, but because we're here in the West Valley area, we have the South Yamhill, it's a tributary to the Willamette, but the whole idea is to have better access. And so everybody was happy that Dayton got the boat ramp, 2 or 3 years ago. And so that same group, and I wish I could remember their name.
River Access Program.
Yeah, whatever it is, anyway.
I'm on it, so.
And
I got
so, any city or the county that's talking about access, then there's a group that is willing to say, oh, okay, how would it work in, and is this the right place for it, and what would it be for? So potentially, if we could, even if we don't worry about getting points for the community rating system, if we were thinking of having some kind of a pathway system for fishers to get down to the river, then that would be another access point, and at some point, with several more accesses, then the Oregon Fish and Wildlife folks may start stopping in South Amnio again.
That'd be nice.
That'd be really nice.
Yeah. Okay, if there's no other comments in that section, is there any comments on Jefferson Street Dog Park? I only have a question, and that's about, adding a street sign that says, Jefferson Street Dog Park that way. Do we need to be that specific, or that's too
No,
general?
the Public Works Department
Okay.
has the control of rights of way, and
Okay,
if the
then
city,
we'll let that
So
go.
we'll deal with them. Okay,
Yeah.
so
so,
Okay.
Alright.
If
the
there's,
Public Works can figure out how big and where to put it and all
Okay.
that kind of stuff.
all right, well, thank you.
it's almost done.
And we're going to chapter 6, capital improvement program. Okay, 6.1, is there any comments or questions?
Again, it needs to say Morgan Street, not Morgan, not Morgan Park.
And where is that?
It's in a couple places.
It's in several places.
Okay.
See, they're after that.
Okay,
And number 1, Morgan Park improvements, it needs to say Morgan Street Park improvement. Is the signage just gonna say Morgan Street?
what page are you on?
I'm on page 6, 2.
6.2, we're still on 6.1.
I'm
Yeah.
jumping ahead.
Okay, we'll get there, I promise. There's just one thing here, there's, paragraph 2, the last sentence down there, in 2 to 4, and low priority addresses in,
Okay, which, are we under the capital improvement
they're out.
yeah,
project
it's
by
this
park?
one right here, yes, this,
Okay, and then
yes,
the
they're
second
after.
paragraph,
pardon,
the second paragraph under
Yes.
that heading,
last sentence.
okay,
And it goes, in years 2 and 4, and low priority projects address in, and it should be
Actually, the
year
paragraph.
5, year 5,
It's the paragraph above that.
yeah.
It says
No, the
5
first
and
paragraph.
thereafter, right?
Yeah, but I think there's no S in years, it should be year 5. So it's not years, isn't it year 5?
Year 5 and thereafter.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, well, yeah, that's, yeah.
I'm just saying, I
No,
think
that's-
the S should be dropped off a year.
Yes, right.
okay, so
Yes,
under the heading capital improvement projects by park,
yes,
it starts out table 6-1. Is that the right paragraph?
oh, here, pass that over, oh, there.
The CIP reflects community priorities and resources.
So it's not the paragraph that starts with 6-1, it's
No.
the next paragraph.
Second paragraph,
Well, It's
And,
the paragraph above capital improvement
Yeah.
projects by park.
so which line in the
It's the
paragraph?
last sentence.
Just before and thereafter.
it's me, I'm sorry.
No, you're being technical, it's really great. No, you're amazing.
Oh, okay, so it's in the
Yeah.
paragraph above the
Yeah.
heading capital
I'm sorry.
improvement
Right,
projects
so
by
it should
park.
say years and year and not years.
Yeah, year 5,
5 and thereafter.
yeah,
Great, that was
Just
a
be
good
very
catch.
specific and
Well,
it's
no,
amazing
no,
that way.
no, okay.
Yes, you are.
And, okay, and this is just a question, so we're now under capital improvement projects by park, and it's under that, a second paragraph, right? Where in bold you have tripled the cost from 2014 Lafayette Park Master Plan. Isn't theirs already approved? Isn't it 2024, not 2014?
Well, this is using the costs from the 2014 plan as the base
Uh-huh,
and tripling those numbers.
wow. Because, I mean, we're lagging 10 years. I'd expect from that base, of 2014 cost, 10 years. Oh, go ahead, Omega, sorry.
Quick question,
I'm questioning,
is it 2014 Sheridan, the Parks and Master Plan, or is it Lafayette?
Yes, indeed.
okay, that's where I got
That's why I was
confused. Now,
confused,
thank you.
okay.
All right,
I thought-
now,
I gotta say,
No
I was
wonder.
being
I guess that was in the
Okay.
2014
Well, you
version for
You
10,
did Lafayette. didn't you?
Yeah.
12 years.
Yes.
Well, I just
He did
thought maybe it
Lafayette
had
before he
something
was
to do with.
sheriff.
I thought
Lafayette.
he was using Lafayette and
I thought
okay.
so too.
And I figured, well, no, that can't be right.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Hello,
Omega.
guys.
Hello, good
Okay.
evening.
It's gonna be a while.
Good
Take your time, we're just
Okay.
hanging out.
Okay, so that clarified my
Let's try it
question.
differently.
Yeah,
Any other comments, questions on page 6-1? Okay, we're going to 6-2, and Leisha said what?
Park.
Is it, 2, where it says south side, that's 2 words?
Oh,
And
south
it's-
side is one word. I'm just saying over and over again, Morgan Street
Uh-huh.
Park
mhm,
and South Side Park.
right,
I see it all over the place.
right.
I read the whole thing. I read 106 pages today and I kept seeing
Yeah,
it
and,
needs to be South Side one word and Morgan Street Park.
right,
And I saw it so many places that I can email you if you want me to.
no, that's okay, because
Okay.
this version that was in your packet
Right.
is the same version that you had last month.
Okay,
And so we got through the first 4 chapters last month saying,
Right.
change all the south side to one word.
So the next 2 are
And I
not.
didn't take the
right.
time to make that change in
Okay,
5
I
and
figured
6.
that. I just
Okay.
made notes.
So, yeah,
So it's the words, the pavilion, south side, and yeah,
Yes.
there's just certain,
yeah,
things-
now that we're looking at 5 and 6, this is one of the things that we
So we'll
learned a
keep
month
correcting
ago
it.
that
Yeah.
we need to
Yeah.
change.
I just made a red mark on every single one, so make sure.
okay, anything, else noted on 6-2? If not, we'll go to 6-3. 6-3, any clarifications, corrections? I only saw that south side again issue, so I'm not gonna, if there's no comments on 6-3, we'll go to 6-4. And again, 6-4, we were talking about still Southside Park. And the disc golf again, I'm not sure what priority. I assumed it would be a low priority, so it should be added right there in that section.
Yeah, these are not in a priority list.
Okay.
And so I'll
Is
just
it on there
put
at all?
add.
No, it's not added
It's
here.
not even not added.
Yeah.
On the list. I don't know if this matters, but it was on the list.
It
So
should,
we'll add disc golf.
yes. Okay. Anything else that leaps out at folks? 6-4. If nothing, we're going on to 6-5. Oh, go ahead.
Down at the bottom is Orchard Street Park.
Oh, yes,
So we'll
thank
make
you.
that site.
Site, very good. Hey, many eyes.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything on 6-5? And again, under West Main Street Park, under 2, it's my same question about prepare a master plan showing item 3 through 6 below.
Mhm.
You're gonna add the word below and other, so. And again, right on, let's see, West Main, we want to not say paved. Is that right, under 1? It says install paved vehicle parking. We wanna change that
Right.
to not paved, unpaved,
How
about just install
install,
vehicle parking?
Well, what I will say here is what we were just talking about a couple
Okay.
pages ago.
okay. That sounds good.
So is it, I mean, that could be a gravel parking lot, but the city changed the ordinance to where if it's in the city, it's gotta be paved now, right?
Unless you ask for an exemption, right?
Yeah, well, there's the possibility of requesting a variance.
A
but
variance.
There's also the possibility of changing the city's paved parking requirement to have some kind of waiver language for park sites. Sometimes if you're, and granted, as a park site with parking, if you're gonna have parking, you have to have handicap accessible, so
Okay.
some of it's gonna have to be paved,
Okay.
but all of the parking lot will not necessarily need to be paved.
Okay.
So, depending on how we want to work with that, if it's a variant situation, then it's, ad hoc for each site, one at a time. Or if you change the regulations in the code, then it would be in effect saying you can have some gravel parking on any city park, or only on these 2 parks, or only on one of those 2.
Right. I don't know, is there a way to say basically these are really undeveloped, sites.
To keep it more natural.
To keep it more natural, where, gravel would keep it more natural than paving.
And
So-
as soon as you have pavement, then you have runoff from the pavement, and
Yes.
then you have to do something with that
Right.
runoff. And
Yes.
certainly in this situation, right, where the property's right on the river, then okay, it's gonna go in a pipe and just run down and daylight at the river, and that's the end of it. But if you have gravel, then the water, a good amount of it, will be able to percolate down into the ground and
Right.
be part of the groundwater table.
So should we say there, install gravel vehicle parking as approved by the city in the future, or we have to say something there? We shouldn't say paved, for sure,
You can see
Yeah.
parking.
just cross out paved.
Install vehicle parking.
Or,
I think it was pretty,
What did we say just a couple pages
I think it was pretty clear.
previous? I guess it was in chapter 5. Well, anyway, I will go back and I'll take a look at what we said for chapter 5 and see how it fits here.
okay,
And then, if we need to change what we were saying in chapter 5 to address this gravel versus paved parking, because, I'm not sure what the full ADA access standards are.
okay,
The driveway coming down into the site, wherever there's parking, might have to be paved.
okay,
There might need to be a ADA accessible or an ADA compliant sidewalk that comes down. At a minimum, having been to a lot of federal national wildlife refuges, it's a gravel driveway in, gravel parking, and then there's a big concrete pad right in front of the whatever kiosk or viewing platform,
Yeah,
and it's ADA accessible.
I think that.
I mean, I'm just saying it's very
Standard.
flat already, it's just very, am I right? Very flat.
it's pretty, yeah,
I
it's
don't
pretty.
see a problem, but,
I don't know, because we did bring up too about, undeveloped sites with the river group. And because we were asking them about, hey, do you have to have bathrooms? Do you have to have all this stuff? And they go, no. I mean, there are many sites along these rivers that are considered undeveloped and they don't have anything but a pathway.
Yeah.
You know, literally a natural path
Mhm.
where people just tromp down through. And that, as long as you, if I remember, Ernie,
Yeah, and a lot of those paths aren't paved.
you
they're
just
natural.
call it an undeveloped, you
Mhm.
know, site for access to the river.
Yeah.
And,
And the
and,
state just acquired, I don't know, just, it's probably 3, 4, 5 years ago now, where the, oh gosh, the river that upstream from Corvallis, the Lucky Mute River,
Mhm.
comes into the Willamette. The state acquired something like 300 acres, and it's just terrible floodplain, trees and all kinds of stuff growing everywhere. And, you know, it's not farmable, it hasn't been farmed, but whoever the farmer was that had owned it for, I don't know how long in their family, finally got to the point where it was okay for them to sell that land to the state. And so people are out there tromping around now because it's state owned, and whatever little trails the state might put in, yeah, they don't have to have a bathroom, and they don't have to have some other things that, again, I'm not sure what the ADA standards are, but it might be, like you mentioned, Ernie, if the state designates that as an unimproved park, then, okay, you don't have to have handicap parking, you don't have to have a bathroom, you don't have to have a lot of that
4
stuff.
foot wide path and certain grades and all that.
Yeah,
It's just a natural path.
and even Chehalem Park, up on Chehalem Mountain, that state park that's up there, it has a paved driveway and paved parking and just, I don't know, 2 or 3 park benches. But as soon as you get in past the tree line and you're in the forest, there's trails going all over there, and they're certainly not ADA accessible.
Ernie, could you ask, is your group still meeting? The river, South Yamhill River,
Oh, yeah.
could you ask them, what can we say if we wanna just keep it, you know, basically undeveloped? What can we say in our master plan that would,
Well, the actual access sites that we're looking at would be developed.
okay, but they're not gonna touch any undeveloped thoughts, and stuff, you know?
They would all be ADA accessible.
Okay,
Not all of them would have bathrooms necessarily. You might have
Okay.
to go to another access point, you
okay,
know, something like that.
but
And
they
if you
all,
have launches, you know, some of them will be posted and there'll be a slide,
right,
not an actual concrete
but they're all
ramp into the
ADA,
river. Yeah.
okay, all right,
According to they said that all parking, if you have a parking lot, it has to be ADA compliant.
Mhm.
But the trails and the access to it, it can be a firm, stable, or slip resistant surface. Doesn't necessarily need to be paved.
okay,
Oh,
so, okay,
Gravel.
okay, yeah, gravel,
Anyway, it's
okay,
one of the things about these long-range
yes,
planning documents,
yes,
particularly for parks and recreation uses, that once the city says, okay, we're gonna
Mhm.
focus on this property,
mhm,
then that's when all these details come into play, and you just have to figure out and work with maybe a park master planning consultant that knows all this stuff right off the top of their head. Then they can say, yep, you need this, you need that, you don't have to do this, you don't have to do that.
well, and I'm now gonna jump down to number 2, pedestrian/bicycle path. And again, this is the undeveloped west and east properties. I'm not sure, where did we get bicycle from, path? What thought did we, I thought it was just pedestrian
It is
path.
for those 2 areas.
For those 2 areas, we really just wanted pedestrian
Right.
pathway.
Going back to the 2014 plan, which has number 2 in it,
Yes,
back then, the idea was connecting and having a ped bike path along the river.
Oh,
And
oh, I see,
wherever you couldn't get right
Mhm.
next to the river,
right,
then have it along West Main Street.
okay,
And the city's, whatever it is, 10, 12-foot wide sidewalk
yes,
on the south side of Main Street, where all the flags are put up on
okay,
Memorial Day and Veterans
Uh-huh.
Day.
yes,
It runs however far it runs and then it stops. But the city's intent is to have that pathway continue on down to the west city limits. And with these two properties down that way, then the idea could have been, well, maybe the bike ped path, instead of being along West Main Street, as it goes west of Rock Creek Road, it could be down near the river where the city owns these two properties.
okay,
But I agree with you that it's kind of not making sense if the city's real purpose is to protect these two properties
Right.
for wildlife habitat and such, then you don't necessarily want a bike ped path in there.
I can see where on the West Main Street Park, you know, that 17 acres, there could be a bicycle pathway in that development, or even on that side of the road,
Well,
but,
one on the other side of the highway,
yeah, but not on the west property and east properties, but on the West Main Street Park.
Yeah, the 17 acre
Yes,
park
the
on
same-
the north
yes.
side of Main Street.
Well,
Yeah.
that makes sense, yeah.
That maybe there's a bicycle path there, but on these west and east properties, do you guys agree, can we strike bicycle path off of those?
And leave pedestrian paths on?
Yes,
Yes, I
Yeah.
agree.
Okay, we'll leave it as, or we will delete bicycle and it will say pedestrian path.
yeah, and again, I mean, if we wanna suggest that over on the West Main Street Park, that, you know, there, a bicycle path, I mean, that's fine.
Because that, the West Main Street site, the 17 acres
Mm-hmm.
on the north side of Main Street, because that's such a big property, before it starts getting developed, the city would hopefully not do it piecemeal and say, okay, we're gonna put in a baseball field this
Mm-hmm.
year, and 5 years from now we'll put in a soccer field. And the thing to do with that kind of a site is do a master plan just for that site.
Oh,
Yeah,
just for
And
the
at
site,
time to do
okay,
the master
yeah,
I
plan,
can see it being
then if
so
it's
feasible.
appropriate to work a bike ped path
Mhm.
in around
it.
Yes.
Okay.
river. It's kind of like all the soccer fields in McMinnville on the, what's the name of that park that's down?
Joe
Joe
Dancer.
Dancer.
Yeah, Joe Dancer. They've got all those soccer fields and things down
They
there,
got everything.
but I don't know, I played soccer there a couple of times, but I don't remember that there was any bike ped path looping around or anything like that through
They have
there.
some paved paths through there. They used to have them even down to the Kiwanis Marine Park before
Okay.
it slipped into the river.
Yeah, anyway, so a lot of the things that you might think of now that could or should
Okay,
be
All right.
mentioned would all be taken care of when that 17 acre park has a
Gotcha.
master plan prepared for it.
good point, cause I never thought of it, just to cite a master plan, so thank you.
Equine? There's a lot of ideas.
Any other comments on page 6.5? If there's not, we're gonna go to 6.6. Again, the one word, South Side and the Morgan Street, caught our eyes, I guess.
So, are you still waiting to update all these values and
All right,
Cause they look kinda, the high looks low, so to speak, I mean, like
Well,
the
yeah.
city park,
I mean, the,
yeah, all those.
the West Main Street Park, the 17 acre site is 800,000 at a low and 1.2 million
Mhm.
as a high. Some of the, and just below that, for the these riverside, two sites, there's no change. The rough estimate from the 2014 plan was 100,000 to 150, and because it's, who knows when anything might happen with either of those pieces of property, I just decided to leave it as, the same as it is in the 2014 plan.
Okay,
But
Well, I
all
saw-
these other things, dollar figures that are bolded and italicized are changes.
So, if some values there have changed, can those be updated?
Yeah, we have time to put different numbers in there. I mean, this is a planning level document, and no matter what numbers we put in there, once we get to the point of saying we want to do whatever at whatever park, then you put out the RFP or our request for proposals or request for qualifications, and an estimate is included sometimes if you think you have a reasonable estimate as to how much the project would be, because some contractors, people that specialize in building parks, they're gonna say, oh yeah, we got this thing from Sheridan, it's, on the statewide list of requests for proposals or qualifications, but we're a big company and we don't deal with anything less than 2 million. And so they wouldn't even bother looking any further at that, at our city project. But for other companies that would want to bid on it, then they would bid on it, and they are the ones who would be, getting down to the dollar values as to what everything would cost. Presumably, we would have a park master plan for them to look at, and they say, oh, okay, here it is, 2029, and there's 14 park benches that are called for, and what's the cost now? And whatever we put in 2026 for
right.
the cost of 6 park benches is irrelevant.
Well, I'm just gonna say on the pavilion there, the original estimate on that work that we're doing now was 320,000, came in at 420. And,
Well, if you have other numbers that
yeah.
are more current, then let me know and we can put them in there.
Yeah, I can send you an email on that, because they just approved another 57,000 for that, so that probably
Okay.
brings it up to 500
Well,
on
and
the
this,
low end.
yeah, the city park, even renovating the, skate park is right now tentatively, it's about $100,000, so.
Yeah.
In the Morgan parking lot.
And I mean, if you add in like the kitchen renovation, the picnic area, I mean, it just keeps going up, so
Oh, yeah.
anyway, okay. Well, as long as they don't
So,
hold us
if you
to,
could, Bernie, if there's, any of these numbers,
Mhm.
particularly for the, Hebrew Memorial Pavilion and
In the
that
parking lot.
area in there, then.
Yeah, the parking lot, they were looking at 600, and that doesn't, well, like a restroom alone is 100,000, so it'd probably be like 600,000 to $1 million for that project.
Okay. Let me know.
It's just money, right?
so
Yeah.
do you want Ernie to send
No, I
you
can
some
send- I'll
numbers?
send-
Mhm.
Yeah, there you go,
Just on what
okay,
Preston and I talked.
okay. Any
They
other,
gotta have city parks probably.
yeah, I know it's much higher than
Bathrooms,
that,
yeah,
yeah.
bathrooms and a kitchen.
Yeah.
Way higher than that.
Yeah. Well, as long as, again, if they're not holding us to these numbers per se,
No, it's a planning
then,
document.
yeah. Okay, if there's no other comments on 6.6, we'll go to 6.7, which isn't much, but we'll go to 6.8, which is the table, how's that? Any comments on the table? I again wanted to ask about, I didn't see and maybe I missed it, on Southside Park, putting in the bridge, the
Oh, yeah.
pedestrian bridge.
The one that's been purchased and needs to be installed.
Yeah,
So maybe because the ponderation system is already in and it was estimated here at 90,000 to 200, is that roughly what it costs to put in?
The aeration or the bridge?
the pedestrian bridge.
Oh, well, I was moving on beyond that.
Oh.
The Southside Park has
Yes.
the first item, pond aeration system,
Gotcha,
but that's already in.
That's in.
that's it.
Do you have any idea what roughly that cost?
I can get it to you, but I don't off the top of my head. No.
Okay, it was just, here it was talking about 90,000 to 200,000.
I know that it didn't cost that.
Okay. You don't need to get it for me because it's already in, but I just thought I
Okay.
would see.
No, it did not
Was it
cost that.
anywhere near
Yeah,
the estimate?
I think the council's eyes would have went, no.
Right?
Yeah.
Now the bridge would be probably 200,000. That was probably for that.
Okay,
Okay, so I will delete the ponderation system and add in, the bridge.
pedestrian
And I'll
bridge.
put an estimate of 400,000 to 500,000, or you can, tomorrow you can check it out, or later this week you can check it out and
Okay.
send me an
Can I actually
email and.
see, is that where the bridge is gonna be? That's different?
The pedestrian bridge, I don't know if you've been at Southside Park, but the, pavilion area there where the little picnic, behind there is like a stream.
Yeah.
Well, the pedestrian bridge is gonna be put across that stream, and it's gonna allow us to go over on that little area behind there, because that's part of the park too. And be able to, I don't know, do other things.
Which is my question.
Yet to be determined.
Which is my question about where we're gonna have a review point for wildlife and was hoping to be connected, but.
Yeah, there's
That's a
plenty of
whole
geese that
nother-
land on the lagoons, but
Yeah.
a lot of people don't.
Yeah.
Think
George,
it's-
you're in late.
Yeah, depending on which way the wind is blowing, they don't wanna go and stand on the dike of the lagoon to see all
Right,
the
yeah.
ducks.
I think a bunch of us just need to go walk
Well,
out there and just really
Yeah.
view
Well,
it.
the bald eagles are coming back,
Oh, okay.
Wow.
but we need to have a perch for them.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
I think we need to
Well, maybe
think
you
about
think
the
that
bridge
fish is
and.
floating around in that.
Well, yeah. And again, maybe we'll be able to walk more around in that area.
I think we need to have a
Field trip.
field trip. There we go. That's what I was looking for, field trip.
Okay, if there's no other comments on page 6.8, we'll go to 6.9. Any? And again, you look at these numbers and you go, holy cow, huh? Oh, and there it is again, Orchard Street, and it shouldn't be park, it should be site. So,
Site.
site, which Jim pointed that out.
Does not exist.
Okay, if there's no comments on 6.9, we'll go to 6.10. And again, where it says West Main Riverside Site, west property and east property, if Jim, you could delete the bicycle path and
Mhm,
keep the pedestrian path.
right.
We'd like that, I think.
I have a quick question.
Sure.
So the gentleman that was supposed to come this evening couldn't make it, and the dog park was brought up, Jefferson Street Dog Park was brought up, and other sites. He is willing, he's a construction worker, he's David's friend, and he's willing to build constructions for children to play on. I don't know where to bring that up in.
Yeah, at the end where we're gonna talk about, hang on, I got the agenda.
He's not here, so.
No, I
As we
think
come.
we need to add him to the next agenda,
Okay,
okay?
alright.
And then.
Just wanna ask.
Yes,
Cause we're kind of in the middle of
Yes.
these parks.
Well, and I do ultimately want to get to David, but we
Right, and
need to get-
David's connected with him,
Yeah.
so I just asked him.
we will get it added to the next agenda and stuff.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, no problem. Let's go to appendix A, which is,
And this is just a list of all kinds of possible sources of funding for
Okay.
parks and recreation facilities.
Do you have anything, I didn't see anything in there from Travel Oregon, are you familiar with any of their stuff?
Well, because Travel Oregon is whichever department at the state economic development department, I guess.
Because I'm involved with them with the Dianna River Access Program.
Yeah,
And they have one in particular, it's called the Recreation Ready Program. And they have a couple of grant programs under that just for, they're more for like developing grants. But the Recreation Ready Program, that's one that I would be looking at for like the Morgan Street parking lot and restroom.
mm-hmm,
So I contacted them and I reviewed their process and I asked for, they, approve several of these grants a year. And so I asked them, for a list of some that were approved for last year, 2025.
mm-hmm,
And some of them were, in excess of $1 million for things like parking lots and restrooms to connect either trails or parks,
mm-hmm.
one park to another and that sort of thing. So I was kind of thinking, this one here might be a good candidate for something like that. But,
Yeah, and,
I can send you the information on it.
okay, yeah, sure, that'd be great.
They got like a PowerPoint
And-
that kind of breaks down how that whole thing works and they can help.
Mm-hmm,
This program I'm with, which is the National Park Service, they try to help kind of set up people in these different sites with different grants and writing them and cutting some of the red tape on some of this stuff, trying to get this
Mhm.
stuff done. The nice thing about, the reason I wanted to get on that is because, we developed this thing down here in Sheridan.
yeah.
There's nobody coming in or going from this,
Mhm.
landing site. It'd be nice if the river was kind of expanded, and then this thing came up, and I just thought, that would be a pretty good fit.
Yeah,
And
well, and the way things go, what was it, last fall, the Oregon State Parks Department said we're running out of money and they stopped hiring, and anybody that retired, they didn't fill the position, and they're increasing parking fees and things like that at the rest of the parks. And so even though there's some Oregon State Park listings here, depending on the program, there may not be money available anymore.
well, it's a good list and Ernie
yeah,
is
they
gonna
sound-
send that.
They sound like they have
Okay.
a lot of cash over there
Okay.
for this program, and it's really,
Yeah.
because I'm well for Parks and Rec, but it's, it's like Destination Oregon, destination, you actually have to have a destination, marketing management person that helps you shepherd this through to get this. So it's all kind of wrapped into that. And since, if you have a bigger program like that, it's easier for like a single, program like we have here in Sheridan to get more attention, more influence in order to get some of these grant monies because it's part of a bigger picture.
Mm-hmm, yeah,
Okay,
It seems like ODOT does the same thing
yeah,
with
All
one
right.
of their programs.
if you don't mind, guys, I'll count on you to send in the information that add in as needed. I'm trying to, cause our goal again is to get done by 8, we've still got a few people to talk to. And let's go now to cover chapters 1 through 4 cleanup, because there's still a couple little things.
yeah. I've gone,
yes.
and just so you all understand, last month we went through chapters 1 through 4,
Yes,
and Preston wanted me to, and what you looked at was
Yeah.
the markup copy.
yes,
Preston wanted me to send you, based on our comments last month, the clean copy. And so that's what this chapters 1 through 4 cleanup is.
It was
And
easier to
I've
read.
gone through it too, and I've noticed, I don't know, 7 or 8 things that, just little
Yes,
weird things, like a word that was proposed to be deleted, and it's still being shown
Yes.
with a strikeout
yes,
through it.
yes.
So,
It should be fairly quick.
yeah,
And then we can go on to the rest of the agenda. So I don't know if others hopefully looked it over too, and like you mentioned, I won't bring those up.
That starts on page 31, doesn't
It does 31, and then
it?
actually 33 has the
33.
verbiage.
All right, I got it.
I did not see anything on 33. Did you guys see anything that popped out at you?
no, I saw the last paragraph was
Okay.
a larger font
Uh-huh.
than everything else, so.
Okay.
I'm
All right.
ready.
All right, well, good for you.
I've already
Okay,
made some
good.
changes that,
Let's go to the next page, 1-2, it's called. And my question is down at the very bottom under the header, organization of this plan. My question is, it says this plan is organized into
Oh.
7 chapters, and it's like, no, isn't there just
Right.
6?
yeah, 6.
Anybody else see anything else? I'm gonna, if there's, the only other next page was 2-5, and I saw that it was still needing at the top of it, to be updated.
Yep.
And, yeah, Jim, it's looking really good. And again, then in chapter 3, I just saw where it says under findings down at 4, again, that Morgan Park, again, Morgan Street, still keeps popping its ugly head up. And it should be Morgan Street. I don't know if you- And then on the next page, 3-2, it has that South Side, calls it South City Park, and that's in number 6. And it should be South Side.
Yep.
I'm just going through, and there was now on 4-3, what you mentioned was that strikeout, about, it shows east striked out, but it's still there. And 10, down below 10, it has struck out and it's 6, so, yeah, that,
Oops,
what's up?
my finger slipped in.
Okay.
Skipped a few pages here.
I do have a question on page 4-4. And it's the top paragraph, the small one. And it's, among a portion of South Park boundary are alternate rocks and 2 4x3 concrete blocks to prevent vehicles from entering the park directly off of Yam Hill. And where my question is, it says a Rotary Club project possibly could fund different rocks and or concrete blocks. I don't remember that. Maybe Leisha remembers. I do not remember Rotary saying that.
No, I thought it was the Rotary Club she was referring to, but there's some
I
civic
think-
organization that
Uh-huh.
was mentioned as a possible source of funds to, I guess, get rocks that look better or get those concrete blocks that,
I think it's that rock on the other side near the playground equipment. There's,
But that's Sherman Street.
Street. It is Sherman Street. It's not on
Yeah.
Oak or Yam Hill.
Yeah, no, it's the-
Yeah,
Is it that picture?
But didn't we talk about the sidewalk going in there?
Well,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, about eliminating those concrete.
Right,
If you
and
have, if you have a curved sidewalk,
Yeah.
and Kai
Yeah.
Then
said,
you
right,
don't need that.
the sidewalk's gonna go all the way down,
yeah,
so those rocks are gonna go away,
right, or
so.
concrete blocks.
Yes, now I remember hearing about this.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna have parking where they won't allow parking down on the grassy.
I would say take the rotary reference out, you know, just
Okay.
say that, you know, that the blocks are gonna go away or rocks will go away
When,
during
Would be-
development of the
sidewalk.
sidewalk. Cause I understand the reference, but I think that was another portion.
I told you, you're having conversation.
Sure. Then, and I'm sorry if I'm hogging, but I'm gonna go to 4.7. And I'm just curious, this is a question for, the Parks and Rec team. And it's, under Riverfront Park Block. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's I guess the fourth paragraph where it says Hebert Memorial Pavilion is a brick and wood plank floor. So down there it mentions, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The seventh sentence down there, area, it says the south wall includes a wall mural, which provides visual interest, which it does. But my question, Ernie, is what are we gonna do with that mural once that area gets redeveloped?
It's gone,
Where's it gonna go?
it went to the river,
Uh,
it's not there anymore.
It'll disappear and,
Well, no, it disappeared, there's no mural there anymore.
Oh, the mural.
no,
It's
in the
there.
plaza itself,
It's
right
there.
now.
The one that the
There.
kids did?
Yes, the ones the
There's
kids,
there's a mural.
that says Sheridan.
Oh, you mean on the back?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I thought you were talking,
No,
No, not the Masonic Lodge.
no, which one are you talking about?
it says Sheridan in the plaza, the pavilion, there's a mural the kids did. That says Sheridan, it's quite pretty.
It's
Yeah,
there.
but it's on the back wall, isn't it?
Yeah,
Right.
but I think it's framed, isn't that
Yeah.
right?
I think so.
Yeah, it's in a frame,
Yeah. No,
so
they-
it could be
They
taken
did
down.
that so it could be moved if it needed to be.
Yeah,
Yes.
it'll be moved.
Okay,
That wall's gonna go away.
So there's
That
no
wall's gonna
intent to-
totally go away?
Hmm?
That wall is gonna totally go away?
Yeah, it's gonna be redesigned.
So if we could if we need to reposition it, we could do it.
okay, I just wanna let's put it on the
Let's
parking lot,
reposition
so to
it, and we
speak,
can
idea.
reposition it in the park or even on the side of our building. Let's
Okay,
not throw it away.
right,
Yes.
okay,
Let's
Yes.
preserve it.
okay, I just wanted to bring that up, I'm not
I
gonna
would be willing to make sure that it goes on the side of one of our buildings if necessary, okay?
go, okay, again, I see the Morgan Park, and it should be Morgan Street,
Yes.
and,
I was gonna say on 4.8, are you 4.8 yet?
I actually
Keep
zipped
going.
on by, but go ahead, tell us what you see in 4.8.
Well, the only thing is, where Jim talked about key deficiencies,
Yes,
he says, as of December 2025, so much of the funding has been secured. I don't know, do we even need to put that in there? Or it says $420,000 in funding has been secured.
oh, well, it didn't have a number in my,
Are
you're
you-
talking about in the cleaned 4.8?
Yeah,
Key deficiencies?
it's under key deficiencies
Oh,
first. bullet,
okay, there it
last
is, yes, gotcha. Thank you.
So I don't know, do we need a number in there, or?
No.
Because right now it's $57,000 more than that. $477 as of
Do you want it
last Tuesday.
do you want it updated?
What could be updated, or I don't even know if we need it, but,
Well, unless you wanna say as of December 2025, funding has been secured. Or partial funding has been
Maybe
secured.
partial. This is
Partial
the-
funding has been
won't be
secured.
everything.
So that is on page 4.8,
Mhm.
Under key deficiencies.
yeah, bullet number
The
one,
first bullet,
last
the last
sentence.
line,
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
as of December,
Yeah.
2025 partial
Yeah, you can
funding,
put, partial funding has been secured as of December 2025.
partial funding had been secured.
Just thought we were talking about that, you know.
Oh,
No,
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 no, no.
The
Where he
nice,
was in
yeah,
Oh.
sure,
Yeah, we're talking about like.
the one that says Sheridan.
The one that, I just wanna make sure it doesn't go away.
Yeah. When I read the sentence, I kept hoping that something could be done with it, but
I'm sure that we can, like I said, we'll put it on the set of our buildings and whatever needs to have done, let's just not get rid of it, it's really cool.
it is really cool.
I'll put it on my barn.
No, it's not public.
Yeah, but
It's it from the road.
It's cool, but it's not public.
And the kids that worked on it,
yes,
as they get older, want to be able to come back and
Saying
see.
that's
yes,
where
it
we did
needs to
that,
stay
yeah.
in Sheridan
It needs to be in
visible
a public space.
place.
It's very sweet.
Any other areas that something jumped out at you guys? I kind of, I do have an update
I
on,
have one on 417.
okay, I have something on 416.
Well, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, okay, Jefferson Dog Park, that line in table
So,
4-1,
we're on what page now?
416, sorry. We just sped through the,
416?
okay, 416, table 4-1, the line that says Jefferson Dog Park. And as you follow it over to the right, it says East Jefferson Street. It's actually Southeast Jefferson Street.
Okay,
Did not notice that.
Yes.
Actually, it was 416 that I was on anyway.
Okay.
In the same chart.
I do have an update on 416
Go ahead.
too, and it's under school district facilities, paragraph 2 of that, talking about Sheridan High School, the 28 acres, but it's the second sentence area. It includes 2 tennis courts. Okay, it's about the tennis courts. They are looking to change,
Revamp
thank you.
Revamp
Change the tennis courts and develop those into pickleball courts. And Rotary is supporting that project.
To repave and renet
so
and.
has the school board made
Yes,
the
this-
decision?
Dory, the superintendent, has to take it to the school board, but the plan, or the goal is to turn those into pickleball.
Update and revamping from tennis to pickleball.
So by the time this is at city council for hearing, we will know if the school board
Yes.
really said yes.
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 Or if they said, I don't know, let's
Yes.
put it off for a year or two.
Dory's on it, yeah.
Yeah, because Rotary, again, has to have a project for the year, and this is something they would want to do besides the peace poles.
Are there tennis courts at the high school?
There's
They're
2.
really not usable.
Nobody's played tennis there according to the
Mills tries.
Really? Okay, well,
They're falling apart.
That's too bad.
So pickleball is modern and it's an update and a revamp and it makes sense because pickleball is so much more popular now.
Okay,
It's all over, yeah.
And it's like a great space.
okay. Any other comments? I'm gonna go to,
Near the residential area.
No, it's right next to the, where we have our Rotary, right?
Yeah. Jim.
Right, yeah.
Go to page 418.
I have 416 here.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry, my bad. Go ahead.
so
Yes.
what page are we on now?
416.
416.
416,
Yeah, under Morgan Street Park, under table 4-1.
okay,
And we talked about this and you made some changes elsewhere on this, but Morgan Street Park, 1/2 of area for parking and 1/2 for, maybe just say parking instead of downtown parking.
okay,
Because as you go over to the right, under the comments section, it says Riverside Park and parking to support downtown businesses. And it's really a parking lot that
Okay,
businesses could use, but it'll probably be, grant money for parks that will maybe fund the parking lot. And it was purchased for the parks parking.
okay.
Not for that.
Well, that's an additional bonus though, isn't it?
But we don't have to have it in the plan,
Okay,
because that might reduce where we can get money from.
okay,
Well, the other thing too is, under the original plan, under key deficiencies, it said for all three of those parks that one of the key deficiencies was that there's no off-street parking.
Mhm.
So if you don't have a parking lot for the parks, you do all this work for the parks, and then,
Yeah,
if it's like, the IGA parking lot, people are using it for those businesses have never taken off there because they never had parking. And, if it was a business that had a high volume of traffic,
mhm,
and the park was always filled with, customer cars, it'd be kind of
yeah,
could be a problem. Not that they can't use it, but just so, and that's another reason we want to call it the Riverfront Park Block.
uh-huh,
So it can be used, and I don't want people to think that, well, gee, you can't have customers using it because they can, but
yeah,
just have the emphasis on that, and a lot of funding could come to that
mhm,
as a parking.
yeah. Like the city of Jefferson, south end of Marion County, they're on the south or the north Santiam River.
Yeah.
And they are a perfect takeout point for all the people that have been rafting down. And on weekends in the spring, nice weather, summer and fall, nice weather, I don't know, it's just a madhouse where they've got a little boat ramp and most of the people aren't in motorized craft.
Right,
They're on, non-motorized
which will be the case. here.
things, and there's people walking up and down and they're going to their cars, and the city has been going crazy for years trying to figure out some way to have more parking, but there isn't public land right there. There's a little bit, but maybe 10% of what they need. And so for this situation with Morgan Street and then having that parking lot, what I've got is to just delete the reference to support downtown businesses and the reference to downtown parking, so.
I'm sure that Riverside, workers will still park back there and other business personnel will still park back there.
Yeah.
Well, there's some other things going on there.
Okay, all right, well, I'll leave it at
Well,
that.
And we're out of time.
We're,
Yeah.
So,
We'll leave it at
trying to
that.
work with, we actually are talking with some of those owners on getting some additional land back there, because that's not all city property back there. And, doing maybe a lot line adjustment to where maybe they could have some reserved parking for employees and stuff
There you go.
by donating additional land back there so we can greatly improve the parking overall, stuff like that. Kind of
Awesome,
working that way.
Yes.
So we're not saying you can't use it, but
designated
especially
areas.
for funding and stuff.
Sure.
Yeah.
And to support it, because like I say, if people can't park there, they're not gonna use it.
Right.
Mhm.
And it'll help the businesses anyway, if there's more people down there milling around.
Right.
So it'll all work out good.
Okay,
Keep the emphasis on that.
I'm gonna go on page 418 up the top, over there, to the far right where it says existing parks of this type, and it has name. Well, Chester is missing from the Moore Park.
I missed that.
Yeah, some of this on these tables,
Mm-hmm.
it's a hangover from the
Mhm.
2014 plan,
Yes.
where rather than, there's just not enough space for
Okay.
everything that could be said.
Yes.
So I will see about adding Chester, because that's kind of what we've been doing here, is adding full park names rather
Yes,
than
pretty
short
much.
park
Little
names.
typos,
Yeah. Pretty much. Okay, if there is no other comments, we'll go back to the agenda and we'll talk about the presentation for David on Treedeption. And, see if Preston's
Let me
ready.
go get them. We
Yes,
I was
Omega.
talking to Preston about it, that's why I was.
Yes, we can take a 5-minute break? 5 minutes,
Forgive me for being out of there, that's what you were talking about.
okay.
Can you tell the time, please?
The time is 7:44 and we're taking 5 minutes, because it's been a long meeting.
Recording stopped.
I'm sorry, guys, I'm just gonna keep it.
That's good, we don't wanna be here till 9 o'clock.
And, yeah,
Thank you, everybody, and I will, I guess, check in with you and Preston about planning commission next possible hearing date. It's not next month, because we don't have the
Variance.
And Dorothy,
35-day period to provide
I
a
am gonna
notice to
bring
the
up,
LCD, so
when it's time for us
probably
to talk
April.
about
It looks
the
like
main
it's April,
meeting.
we had
Oh,
a variance.
Because I too
For
did
something
not
else
make that
that-
meeting.
Oh, well, if there's 2 of us,
Right.
there's 2
Two
of
of
us.
us. Yeah, so I'm glad you
Okay.
mentioned that,
Yeah.
because it made me look at the calendar,
This
and
is,
I thought, oh my.
Oh, this seems so, in January, May seems so long away.
Yeah.
So far away.
Well, I have my,
Yeah.
cataract surgery.
Oh.
I'm having more fun than you have.
Yeah, I'd rather go with you,
It's
but
hard.
I am not gonna wait till I'm 80 to get my, eyes,
Yeah, I can't even remember what, but I've got 2 things wrong with my eyes, and I can't remember which 2 out of the
Uh-huh.
3 or 4 things that can go wrong with your eyes. Last time I had my eyes checked,
I'll
they said you
just
got
send it
this
to you
starting
and
and
that
this
way
starting.
you can have
Okay,
it.
Great.
now, have it and stick it in the file, and what's the number that you're looking at?
240.
240,000, oh, okay. That's not that.
And I don't know
bad.
that that's updated, that's just where we started when we
Have
started
you
talking to
looked at these
contractors and
lists
stuff.
of plans? No.
But
No, was it in?
that was last year.
Yeah, it was in the packet at the very
Oh,
back.
at the very end? Oh,
Yeah.
I already closed it.
I want you to look at them and recommend.
80 feet.
Yeah, I might.
You're the plan
I
person.
know, I might not like what's there. I posted all that
I
already.
thought there was quite a selection.
It's a big
Very
bridge.
big structure.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen it,
Oh,
but.
maybe it's.
Would you like my
I haven't
list?
looked
Here,
into
take a
all of
look.
the bridges that
Yeah, that'd be
follow
easier. I
all
hate
of
looking
the
at stuff.
There you go.
to all
And
the
it's on the back
retired
too.
Other
So,
places, it's like.
Preston asked me if you voted, I said no,
Those
we're
bridges,
to do this thing.
they end up
I
having to be
apologize that it was up.
really, structurally
That's all right.
sound and ready to accommodate flooding and all that stuff, but.
Oh,
We'll
there it
bring
is. I never looked at that far.
David,
David,
next meeting.
Like I said, at least that's where they started with it, I
Well,
don't know
David, yes, the
where it'll end up.
presentation.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Well, whatever, that's where it was started at, it's probably
Oh,
more.
okay.
Probably.
Don't know how much
That's
more.
why it's.
I thought we were just gonna cover
But it
the,
doesn't matter.
landscaping.
That's how it is, but
Planning
Preston
on
part of it.
document,
Yes.
so.
Isn't that quite a comprehensive list? It's on the back too.
So how have you been?
But I'm
Super
wondering,
busy lately.
does he have a planting plan?
I believe he would, but
Keep
you
it
keep
busy
flipping on the back of all those plants, you know?
Trouble lately.
And then he,
Some of these need
Well,
shade.
if you're gonna
Yes,
get in
I
trouble,
think-
get in
yes.
trouble.
Go talk with him privately at his place. and you
well,
guys will
and
do
again,
that.
we can ask him during after the presentation.
Okay,
Okay.
great, thanks.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
And I don't know, Preston talked to you, I complained to him about the way some of the shrubs have been running around city buildings, and he didn't, he said he remembered me saying something, but he didn't know which one. It was by the library, there's a Japanese maple run into a square.
Certainly you can
That's
come and
really, really
say,
bad.
hey.
Why is that happening?
I have no idea.
I don't think- You don't have anything to do with recruiting?
I don't.
Okay.
Our guys do it, but I mean, I don't,
And, I did.
I don't know why they do what to what,
And,
I just know that they do it a week in
Okay.
more than once?
No,
We're
no,
talking
that
about
was
Or
a
is it just
Well,
once?
I usually do landscape pruning for
thing. Yeah,
adopt.
So you showed
And
that in my
I
mind, it's
have
like
been in
somebody got
horticulture
it
for
twice.
50 years, over 50 years.
Ah.
And it really bothers me to see
Okay.
shrubs destroyed by
All right, so you're the planning commission hearing, the council hearing.
mostly computer.
Yeah, okay.
Bye, Jim.
Yeah, okay, well, I think he said, to email him some particular plants that I was complaining about, so
There we
I'll
go.
start with that.
Okay.
Okay.
See if we can make that through before.
Yeah, again, I'm only gonna give him like 10 minutes, cause I'm gonna try, guys, to keep this no more than 10. We're not gonna go past 10 after, so we're gonna zip through.
Can't tell you
Well,
how
if
much
you're talking Preston,
I
that could be
appreciate
10
it.
minutes right there.
That's the problem right now.
Tell him to come in and talk in here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, get it, Alicia.
that's it, get in. We got places to
We're
go.
ready to go.
Get ready to go.
Go. Well, thank you, this is much easier to look at
Yeah.
than my phone.
Yeah, I scribbled stuff for you.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
I,
I'll know where to come to get my stuff.
Yeah,
5 minutes is up.
My
Okay.
sister's down here.
thank you. Alrighty,
1 second, let me push.
you bet.
Recording in progress.
I had a question, oh, sorry, the meeting resumes at 7:50 after a 5-minute break. I do have a quick question, for Preston too. Now that we went through the master plan, as a group, do we now say we accept the master plan with changes noted? Do we have to do anything like that?
Well, I think that was part of your,
Review?
part of your final vote.
We haven't voted.
You haven't voted yet?
No.
Okay. So,
Go ahead, Omega.
I believe that Jim has a lot of, some edits to do. He's gonna be waiting for, stuff from
Okay.
Hebert and Davis, so until
Okay.
he gets that, he'll have a clean version of it,
Okay,
and then, we'll be able to set that one out for everybody. We'll do one final review, and if you guys
Okay.
like it.
Okay,
you
thank
can-
you.
that's,
thank you.
that's
very
the
much.
answer.
Okay, thank you
Yeah.
guys.
You'll, which would have been basically G,
G,
you know, where
yes.
you would have,
Yes,
so that will be on the next agenda, right?
okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Assuming that's moving forward and all, Jim's gonna go ahead and get out the notice
okay,
to, for an April planning commission meeting.
okay,
And that's, that'll get noticed accordingly.
okay.
Yeah, and like I mentioned kind of before the meeting, if you think of things come up, we still got a few more months, you know, in this process before the council finally, you know, adopts it. So by all means, let me know or Omega know, so we can carry those concerns throughout the process.
Okay, thank you. And we're ready now for, F, which is a presentation for landscaping Sheridan City Hall.
Yeah, great, Your Honor. So I think Jim's agenda snuck in front of me there. I'm gonna have to talk to Megan about it. But I mentioned that on the, I had David Stearns with me here. You know David with
Yes.
Treedeption. And he's gonna say a few words to introduce his business associate. But the last page in your packet is a proposal. And I wanna kind of tell you the story, a little bit that goes with this. This isn't just beautification of City Hall. We're not trying just to beautify downtown. That's nice when it does. But this is more of a story that really started years back when the city approved backyard beekeeping. Why? Well, because of the concern for the environment. Fast forward, the city passed a resolution to prohibit the use of forever chemicals by city staff. These horrible forever chemicals that are used to control vegetation in our parks and our right-of-ways, as well as these neon icon and toy pesticides that are known to be especially harmful to beehives. So the council's taken that step. Why? Again, because they care about the environment. And this city hall landscaping plan plays right into that too. We're not a Bee City USA or anything like that. I mean, we can be, but it's the idea of continuing to be concerned and help our environment plays into this more than anything. So I talked to David about putting together a formal proposal. He's done a great job here to list all the flowers, all the bushes, trees. I think it's a very fine proposal. It contemplates working with the city staff, which you don't see a lot of that here. But our staff plus volunteers, some people in City Hall want to help plant flowers, that sort of thing. Maybe we'll do a work party, but our crew would dig all the holes around City Hall, because we got a lot of irrigation lines and everything. That'll all get done. David would say where to plant, and provide all the sod and everything. It's a way that we can help make sure that all goes smooth. It's kind of our part in that. Also took a tour of Treedeption. What an incredible farm that he has going there. And Dave's got a great vision. I tell you, it's really a special place. Seeing these plants in either 1 gallon buckets, 2 or 3 gallon buckets was really great. And so the idea is get some feedback from the Park and Rec Committee on this. And you want to move forward with this, all you have to do is give me a thumbs up tonight. I'd like to go to council at the regular meeting this month. Pardon me, we're past February. March. Get them to approve it, and then we install in April. That's the ideal plan to be planting this. So it's trying to do something great, but we gotta act kind of quick. I don't like putting pressure, but that's the way it seems it always ends up. You might have a lot of comments on the flowers and the bushes and the trees, the colors, all of that. You can see how there's, a couple of hundred.
Yep.
Couple of hundred plants would be installed on this. So you'll have questions that I won't be able to answer about that. But a real nice description of each one of these, the colors, what kind of pollinators they attract. We kind of called it a pollinator's paradise. Wouldn't that be great? So I want to ask David up to introduce his business partner, and also to mention a special tree that we got to replant here in the front. And I'll let David talk about that.
Hi there, good evening everyone.
Good evening.
I will give Chuck a minute to comment after I just kind of talk a moment about what Preston's talking on. He can give his perspective on some of this, as he's worked in Parks and Rec and different local parks, and he's been out at the farm for years seeing kind of the changes that we've had at our own space. A couple months ago, I went to city council and I was really fired up that day. I was driving by and I noticed that there's just hardly any real flowers or life here at City Hall. There are a few boxwoods, there's a few shrubs, but there's not really anything that really just speaks like this is the center of the hub of the city, of where we create. It's like parks and rec creation. like I realized that about Parks and Rec, it's like, its creation is in that word, so like creating zones, creating parks, creating spaces. And Preston mentioned that Sheridan is now doing a honeybee friendly, backyard friendly. As a new beekeeper, I really appreciate that, and we need to fight for some of these species that are really struggling, and that's part of our obligation as being caretakers of this planet. And we're a no spray farm for 7 years at our property, and it's amazing seeing all the different wildlife that has started coming back into our space, and all these little micro gardens around town can really add up. So that's why I suggested it, and I appreciate Preston pushing the idea forward and coming and visiting my farm. You all are welcome to come out. I've had Alicia out there before. I would love to see all of you, and we're planting trees, berries, herbs, flowers out at our space to create like a whole forest, like living zone. But yeah, Sheridan City Hall here is just it's the center of town. It's absolutely, when you're driving through, you see the fire department is like one of the main buildings, the city hall here, and then you got the grocery store. It's like the main strip, so it really would attract a lot of different people. And yeah, these flowers, I didn't describe all the different flowering times, but one of the main things with this plan was to do such a diverse mix that you would actually have flowers from early spring. April, we would start having early, like ajuga would start flowering. Some of these different early flowering plants, like even the some of the lavenders, some of the plants would start early, some would start midsummer, and then the rest would go late summer. So we would actually have flowers with this mix for 6 months straight. So it would be a bit of life coming in. And if y'all have any questions, I did include a bunch of native plants. So we do have 7, 8 different native flowers that do attract like native struggling blue butterflies, things like milkweed that attract the monarch butterflies, specifically tuning the plants towards hummingbirds, endangered species, things that we really need to support. So that was really important on this list to give that mix. Yeah, if you have any questions, I also can invite Chuck up.
The special tree.
Oh, and also, yeah, none of this talks about the tree, right? If y'all look at the corner here, there's a plaque dedicated to a tree that is no longer there. So that was definitely something where it was like, we maybe could all talk about who is this person that we're honoring? What is the honor? What's the roots of that? What kind of tree would that person want? What kind of tree do we want in that spot? Either leave the plaque and plant a new tree, which might be nice, new growth, new tree, new symbol, but that's just something worth noting and talking about. Yeah. And then I have Chuck here.
I'm Chuck Block, and really excited, and I want to thank the council, Parks and Rec, for listening to us and considering this. I worked for the state parks for 10 years, and working with parks, there's nothing like it, because you're doing 2 different things. You know, you're helping out community, you're helping out young, you're helping out your kind of connection. And what me and Dave are starting to do out there is really more for the community than it is really a business. We're dedicated to helping our community, helping us grow and become better. And I just want to thank everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Chuck.
Thank you.
So there is a question that the plaque out here is in commemoration for the Nisleys that were community servants for many years. So as part of this landscaping, you know, we want to replace that tree and do a rededication for the Nisleys. And so we can come up with a tree that works in with all this or take suggestions. So if y'all have an idea of the tree, y'all know the plaque that's out here.
Not really.
Okay.
It doesn't say a name of a particular tree on it,
No,
just the name of the people.
Correct.
So we plant any tree we want.
Correct. Yes. And the plaque is right there. You're looking at kind of the city of Sheridan sign and everything. And it'd probably be off to the right a little bit, you know, not be any sight distance issue. But if you've got an idea for the type of tree that should go in there, let me or David know.
Limitation on space?
There is limitation.
There is.
Yeah, you want to go out and look and see the plaque just to the right area there, kinda where.
It's like a park bench.
So probably not a sequoia.
No, maybe a dwarf version,
Just something like next to a park bench.
Okay.
We've got enough sequoias in this town. Somebody came through 100 years ago, I'm sure. Okay.
How long do we have to, opportunity, to give this information or suggestion to you guys? Is there a time frame from
Well, kind
now
of,
to,
yeah.
to what?
Yeah, we, if this all goes well, we wanna be installing in April.
Okay, so,
But based on the species of tree,
yes,
there's a procurement issue there.
okay.
Right.
It could be something that's readily available, or it might be something we have to look for. A
Okay.
real good, nice stock of
Does David have particular suggestions?
I mean, I like a peach tree or something,
No,
but
no, peach trees
Yeah.
get too much, in this climate, they get too much disease. Not a good choice.
What about a pink birch?
a birch. Yeah, I mean,
Birch, get birch.
something
Emerald,
flowers.
birch borer.
Well, pink dogwood.
A pink dogwood would be pretty.
Oh, yeah,
Uh,
dogwood,
Okay,
yes.
but not an East Coast Florida dogwood. It has to be a Korean dogwood.
Yeah.
Yeah, Korean dogwood, okay.
I mean, pink flowering dogwoods are pretty. They get big. They do get 30 feet tall.
Oh, so,
No, Korean dogwoods are smaller than Florida dogwoods.
Joe's got a suggestion maybe?
yes.
We best if it's a semi-dwarf tree,
Yeah.
where it doesn't get a certain height to where it's not gonna be overshadowing the city hall,
right.
Something's
where it's just a decorative tree,
Well, dogwood-
There's lots
dogwood
of
might-
good trees. There's lots of.
like a flowering cherry or something.
something small, yeah.
I've got some questions though. Not about the tree, I've got some questions. For David.
Yep.
I do not see milkweed on the list.
I'm sorry?
I do not see milkweed on the list.
Oh, I thought it was.
I don't see it.
I thought milkweed was on there.
But I'm looking at my phone, not a piece of paper.
Maybe I did not include it on this list somehow.
Somehow.
It was definitely one
Maybe
that I
you
was
mentioned it to me
wanting
and I
to.
didn't see it on the list.
Okay, then I'm wondering which variety of the 500 million stone crops you were thinking of?
I have the Oregon stone crop.
Oh, Oregon.
Native, yeah. That was one of the natives I wanted to put with like a yarrow, kinnikinnick,
Yeah.
kind of Oregon grape zone, so it kind of made you could have like a native.
The other thing is do you have a planting plan?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a blueprint? Because some of these things are more shade.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I was looking at some of these plants for the front side, like the red hot pokers or full sun. Things like that.
I would really like to see a planting plan.
Sure, and I also, when I do that specific plan, it would be nice. I kind of need to see the utility lines
Right.
because that's part of why I didn't necessarily map it out. I don't know
Right.
exactly what zones are available yet.
Right.
But yeah, I could absolutely get that. And milkweed is supposed to be on here.
I kind of think it is.
And it's not. It didn't make this cut. I did a couple drafts of it. I can add
Okay.
that.
The draft I saw it was up.
Yeah.
So do you need something from the city to get the layout of what's under utility?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I have an idea of where most of these are medium to full sun flowers.
Okay.
So Sheridan City Hall gets
A lot
decent
of
amount of sun. So, I intentionally left off like mostly shade flowers. So,
Okay.
but yeah, it would help to know specific zones where they're not available, so where we know where we can't plant. But there was flexibility, and a lot, like Preston said, there is over 100 plants, 130, 140 plants on this list, and a lot of it was to create little zones where right away it might not look super impressive. It'll be light.
2027 it'll look great.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. Is you plant a foot apart, and they'll fill in
Yeah.
and create this
Okay.
whole zone. Yeah.
Is it possible you could have a plant layout thing
Yeah.
for us to look at by next meeting, which is March 19th?
Yeah, I'm sure we could do that.
Yes, go ahead, Omega.
It
Yeah.
cannot be March 19th.
It cannot be.
Not if we're meeting with Jim, then it would have to have either two separate
Okay,
meetings.
okay, April 16th?
If
No,
you go to
but not for
April,
David. We have to get back to David way before that.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Because the meeting that Preston wants, right, will be on the 16th, March 16th.
That would be for council,
Mhm.
yeah.
Ah,
So what's wrong with the 19th?
That's our meeting, but
That's
if
two
it's too late.
Yeah, that's two things, that's, one, if we are taking into consideration Jim Jackson's time, he cannot meet on Thursdays.
Oh,
And two, this would be after the city council meeting, which is why we're trying to get this thing
Oh.
proposed to.
How about if, whenever you develop it, which is hopefully within the next couple weeks, that you send it to Omega and just email it out to our group?
Yeah, it could
Yeah.
just be
Just-
an individual
yeah,
email.
we
you
would
can go
never
over it.
need.
Yeah,
That's
just
the-
so we can kind of look.
Jazz night at the school is the 12th.
Yeah, we just wanna look,
Totally.
cause, and if we had any feedback, and then it would go back through Omega to you, so we're not holding you up to get to council.
Sounds good,
These
yeah.
these are really good plants, really
Thank
good
you.
plant choices.
I
Quaking
appreciate
aspen.
that, yeah.
Quaking aspen.
Quaking aspen for the tree?
It's not native here.
We
It
have-
doesn't
we
do
have
well.